Hi, it's RK Crosby from Migraine Australia, and it is Migraine Awareness Month. We are talking to people who are thriving with migraine. That is, people who are doing extraordinary things and inspiring everyone, and they just happen to have migraine on the side. As is typical for our wonderful Migraine Australia community, one of the very first nominations we got was somebody nominating their mum. It was Jenna nominating Fiona, and Fiona is with us now. Hi, Fiona.
Hi, how are you?
Very well. Great daughter that you have.
She's amazing.
Thinks a lot of you, quite clearly. So tell us
Yes.
about yourself. Whereabouts do you live and what do you do?
Okay, I'm from Perth, WA. Born and bred, never left here. I love it so much. I'm 48, single, and have a beautiful 17-year-old daughter, Jenna, who I've been a single mum to her since she was 2.5.
Yeah.
So yes, so it's been her and I against the world.
Yeah.
For a long time. So yes, we do have a very close bond.
And what was that like, being a single mum with migraine?
Extremely hard, because at the time I was working for Australia Post in a corporate position. So I would do close to 40 to 60 hours a week, plus trying to be a mum at the same time. So when I didn't have Jenna, I would fall into a big heap on the weekend, because it was just so hard trying to manage work, home life, and then having a migraine on top as well, and not having the support, because for a lot of people they don't understand what it's like, and they just think it's a headache. So so it was extremely hard, and but I got through it. So
what's your migraine like?
These days my migraines are more hormonal. I probably am getting about 2 a week, but they last on average 2 to 3 days. And if I'm lucky, I might have a day break. And then it starts up again.
So you're losing kind of about 4 or 5 days a week to migraine attacks.
Exactly.
Exactly. And what was it like when Jenna was little? Was it just as bad, or has it just been progressively getting worse like most of us?
No, it was actually quite bad. There would be times where I would have to say to her, Mum's head's not right, I've got to go and lie down. So there was a lot of time where she would be plopped in front of the TV or in the room with me watching something, so I could still keep an eye on her while I was trying to sleep through it and try and get over it. But it was extremely hard, and she did learn at an early age. When Mum said she's not feeling well, her head hurt, she knew what that meant.
It's so tough on our kids.
Exactly.
And now she has migraine herself. How was that for you?
That was my worst fear. Because she is so much like me, I was hoping that she wouldn't get the migraines, but yes, she started probably 2 years ago. And it's extremely hard watching your child suffer with the same pain that you suffer with, knowing that there's nothing you can do to really help. You've got to be there and support, and just try and help her let her know what I do to try and get through it. But as everyone knows, everyone tries everything and has something specific to them, and what works for you may not work for somebody else.
So what do you do to manage your migraine? What's your routine?
So at the moment I'm on Indirel, which I think I'm on about 80 milligrams now. Actually 120 I'm on now. I'm also taking nausea tablets when I get the nausea with it. I do take a lot of magnesium as well, because I do find if I can nab it in time with magnesium, it's not as bad. It won't.
So you only take it when an attack hits, not every day?
I take magnesium every day. But when I start to feel a migraine come on, if I'm home, I take extra magnesium to try and stop it so it doesn't get any worse.
Fair enough.
And then my other go-to is, of course, Mercendol with the painkillers with codeine. But as you know, it's hard to get that now because they've taken it from over the counter.
Yes. And then they're taking it away from us some more, and making
every
it
time,
very difficult.
yes, and every time you go to the doctor, you get the same conversation. Do you realize that it can cause the hangover headache, which is probably worse than your migraine? It can make you constipated. It's addictive. And I sit there the whole time going, yes, I understand all that, but do you actually understand what pain I go through? I would rather a hangover headache than a migraine.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people in that boat. I'm fortunate myself in the sense that once I fix the medication overuse headache, I actually don't have that much pain associated with my migraine. So I can't empathize, but, you know, certainly I remember MOH pretty badly. So I was up on Norseman patches, which is bad, right? They're week-long opiate patches for about 2 years. And I had no idea what MOH was. So it's great that your doctor is actually giving you the lecture. Although we do like to get to a place with our doctors where they know that you know. But we'll get there.
I must admit, I do have a great GP, and he's really good. But there's been a couple of times where I've run out of Mercendol, because you go in there and they give you a script for 20, and like for me, that's 2.5 days with a migraine. So I might have to go back, and of course I'll get another GP who's filling in, and I get the whole spiel. And let me send you to a neurologist. Let's have Botox. And I'm like, okay, yep, not a problem.
Have you tried, other than the Inderal, have you tried any of the newer preventatives? Tried Botox or CGRPs yet?
I must admit, I haven't. I've been on the chat page frantically looking at everyone's feedback. I'm sort of at the stage now where I wonder, like, putting Botox into my body, is that going to be worse? Because as much as I will use the Mercendol and the Inderal and all that, I really don't want to keep pumping chemicals into my body. And that's the really fine line, because like, what do you do to stop this pain?
Look, it's a very personal choice, and I'm sure, you know, thinking about Jenna, you've even got more dramas about not wanting to put drugs into her body. When it's your body, it's kind of, you know, I can take that risk. When you're talking about a child, you know, even though Jenna started at 15, she's not like a little kid. She can decide for herself, and it's still tough. So if you found that the things that work for you work for Jenna, or is she doing her own thing?
No, she's on NDEP, a low dosage, because she does struggle with sleep and a little bit of anxiety. So I think the NDEP is sort of keeping them at bay at the moment. When she does get them, unfortunately, her go-to, like myself, is the Mercendol. She is extremely good at drinking water, which, unlike me, I struggled, but she does the water, like, she's really good with that. But you know what teenagers are like. They seem to know everything and don't want to take on board what you want to say or hear what you want to say. And so sometimes it is a strong learning curve for them, because they've got to sort of work it out for themselves and start to realize, well, you know what, I actually can't do that, because this is what's going to sort of happen. It's going to trigger a migraine. So I can't get magnesium into her. Every time I say you need to take your magnesium, and she laughs at me, because she reckons magnesium is my go-to for everything.
Your placebo, perhaps.
Yes.
If it works for you, it works for you. All right. So no, go on. So
no, magnesium is fantastic for everything, like especially for teenage girls. When I was coaching netball, all the mums would say, oh, they have restless leg syndrome, they don't sleep, they're wired all the time. Take magnesium, like, that's just the best thing. It just helps with everything.
So you used to be a netball coach? Are you still coaching netball?
No, I've taken some time off. So because my mum got cancer, so I've been caring for mum. But I coached netball for a good 5 years and ran the netball club for about 3.
And you did it all with migraine. And what the work that you do now is with special needs kids, is that right?
Yes, yeah. So I'm working, I'm probably doing only about 10 hours a week though. I work more one-on-one with the children, and it's doing literacy and numeracy for a private organisation. So where children can't get, they're in mainstream school and can't get that one-on-one help, their parents pay to come to us, and we sit there with the kids for an hour and go through things with them, and try and help them along. So it's really interesting because you get to work with a lot of different children. Some are suffering with autism, some are dyslexic, some are just delayed with their learning. So it's different, and they're quite interesting, and it's really good because on the days where I don't feel like going to work because I feel like crap, I get there and I suddenly realize when you're dealing with a child that's got autism and ADD, ADHD mixed together, it sort of puts you into perspective, how their struggles at a young age is really quite hard, and even though you're in pain, it's not as much as what they're going through. So that's probably my one thing that sort of gets me through the days. Sometimes I get a slap of reality quite often.
Inspiring stuff.
Yeah, it's great working with kids that just are so different, but they're just so wonderful, and they just have so much love, and they just want to learn everything. They're like little sponges.
That's wonderful. You are such an amazing person, Fiona. I'm so glad to have had the privilege of talking to you today. I wish you and Jenna all the best.
Thank you.